MLK Day 2018. Today we remember the dream. We talk about the legacy left by Martin Luther King Jr., the memorable words following the drum major for peace and justice and righteousness.
You know, Ernie, out of all the times and things I've heard in history about Dr. King and to his speeches and everything, I never heard him for any time ever use the term black rights. He always talked about civil rights and human rights and things like that. Like he always looked at the big picture. He never looked at it from a selfish standpoint, like I'm just representing my people. I want everybody I want equality for everybody. That's amazing.
And a day in which the league recognizes that. We sit back and, as Shaq said earlier, it's always a good day to just reflect on some of those quotes that you remember. And it's one of those days where I listened to the CD that I've got in the car of the drum major sermon that he gave at Ebenezer. That's just so powerful.
I mean, being in Atlanta, we get an infantry view of what went on, because so many things, and this was kind of the hub of what Dr. King was. We get to see artifacts, we get to hear speeches, we get to go into museums, but it just shows the power of words and the power of thought. Because if you really think about it, the temptations come from your thought. And when you redirect your thoughts, you have different temptations, you have different analytical thinking about people and how people can adjust to you and you can adjust to them. So it's just a change of thought, and which is the hardest thing to do for most people.
Fellas, I heard a story today, and I never heard this story before. I was listening to the Steve Harvey morning show, and it was Dr. King was giving a speech, and he's saying he was at a particular place and a woman stabbed him. So he said he got to the hospital, he was in the hospital for a while, and somebody brought him a letter, and the letter was written by a little white girl. And the white girl was saying, "I'm happy you didn't sneeze," because he got stabbed close to the artery, and if he would have sneezed, it would have erupted. He gave a speech on how he's glad that he didn't sneeze. But I never knew that he got stabbed before.
Wow.
Who's that, Dr. King?
Yeah, Dr. King.
Yeah, and that was in New York City? No, not New York City, but Ron Nasario.
Yeah.
Ron Nasario, he's a legendary basketball coach at Cardozo High School. His dad was one of the surgeons that helped him that day.
Right.
And so I always talk, every time this time of year, I start getting quotes from Coach Nasario about his dad was one of the people that, saved Martin Luther King that day.
Well, we end this day as we do every NBA broadcast with this Inside the NBA show, and a lot of work to do as we get going tonight.